Hey everybody, Edo here, and this is The Village Crone by Anne-Marie De Witt and published by Fireside Games. Now, many of you might not have caught on, but I actually tend to review games I really like. I play lots of games, many of which I don't like, but I don't feel the need to spend a bunch of time telling people about games I don't like. This game is an interesting in-between. Seth brought it over and we played it, and I played it again. And the execution of theme in this game is outstanding. I love it. I love it. You're playing as witches, and you're going through and casting spells on townsfolk, turning them into frogs, making them fall in love, blocking other witches' spells, and you're earning points by essentially doing these things. Cast the protection spell to block a rival witch, or admonish the Lord, summon the Lord to the tithe barn, and then make him fall in love with the miller. And when you cast spells, when you use these, you have fire, silver, flower, soil, and eye of newt. And when you use your regents to cast your spell, or your ingredients probably, you have to give the incantation, right? By beasts that flies and by beasts that crawl, appear at once within these walls, right? And it's awesome. And it's so much fun to pretend to be witches, oddly. And it's not like Salem witch trial witches. It might be, but it just doesn't have that vibe. You just feel like old hags terrorizing a town, and it's delightful. Now, all of that was a little hesitation. Mechanically, the game is light. It's light in sort of an unexpected way. It's not terribly big in storytelling, and it's not terribly deep on the mechanics side, and so I found myself sort of left wanting. I couldn't tell if I wanted it to be more of just an RPG with this sort of idea, or if I wanted the mechanics to be able to have a little bit more player interaction. It was a little uneven for me. I'm going to describe it quickly, but again, the theme execution is so good. It deserves a play. If you see it, do check it out. Do try it once. It might be right for you. I posted pictures of play, and I think I had a mixed crowd, right? So I can't, I think it's for the right player, but the theme and that execution is just stellar. I really enjoyed it. The game, you have these tiles and locations, the Lord Manor, the Forge. There's 4 more, Tithe Barn, Village Green, Mill, one other farm, I think is the other. And on each one there's a different character. To start, you have the priest, the blacksmith, the lord, the farmer, the peasant, and the miller. And they're modular, so the game can change based on how they are, and there's movement points of the game. Each witch has a familiar. I think the box called it worker placement, I don't know. But basically, you start with a couple of these. This character is a crow, but there's the cats and the rats and the spiders. So you got these little animals, and they're in the world. And you can walk your little animals around, and you walk your little characters around. And if your animal's at a location like the ford, at the end, you'll draw these resources. And if he's over here, you'll draw these resources. And so you're trying to sort of conjure more familiars. And then you can use your familiars to call people over to, say if I have a familiar here, I can summon to the familiar, I can swap with the familiar, different spells, and then if these guys are in here, maybe I have to cast a love spell, and then they fall in love. So, and again, you're just working to fulfill these victory conditions, and when you do, you score them. They're worth a number of points on the card, and you can, if I bind these, I cast a spell, and then I bind, no one can get in or out, they're stuck, so you can do that to other witches. But for the most part, this game is about, there's so much happens on different people's turns, and people are moving all over the place. It's a little bit about just seeing what you have in your hand, seeing your resources, seeing your different goals, and sort of maximizing your turn. Again, I think this could be a big, big yes for a lot of people, but I do think some people might not enjoy it. I certainly can recommend checking it out, and I do really, really enjoy what Anne-Marie has done here. I thought it was super cool. I really like being in this fiction, and it's not like I walk around being like, I wish I could pretend to be a little witch right now. That's not my thing, but I thought it was great. So do check it out. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Most importantly, play some great games. Thanks. Bye.